Okay. Here we go. We are live right now. Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are all having a great day today. Hey everyone. Hey guys, how you guys doing? Oh, hey user. How you doing, man? Oh, you're in Uganda, user. Okay, hey, what's up, man? And, EM Zuck, I recognize that flag. That's a Macedonian flag. What's your opinion on the recent GTA 6 news, specifically regarding what? I'm doing good, Bag. How are you, man? I have an upcoming thesis defense in 2 weeks for my master degree. Wish me luck. Also, will I play 007 First Light? That comes out at the end of May, right? So last week of May. Thank you, 9. Do you think we'll get info on the 12th for GTA 6? Maybe. I guess we'll have to see. I think I might buy some Take-Two stock this week. I might do that. See what happens. Thank you, Seth, for the super chat. Or want to help me sell? Whoever invites me. Let me see here. Who? Let me help Arcade, because I've never helped Arcade sell. Will I do a playthrough of Dead Rising 2? Oh yeah, you bet I will. I graduated Army Basic. Anything new on GTA? Hey, Steelboy, congratulations on that. No, but there's gonna be a new update coming out next month on GTA Online. We don't know what it's gonna be. Can you tell me how stocks work? I'm not a complete expert on it, dude. The only thing I can tell you, and I'm not a stock advisor, I have, I only buy in companies that I trust. And really, the only two companies that I buy stocks in is Take-Two and Amazon, because you're not going to make a huge profit from those companies, but it's relatively safe investments. So that's why I like those two companies. Amazon, for example, jumped so much within the last month. Like, it just went up so much, and I made a good profit on that. But it's, those are really the only two companies I tend to trust, is Amazon and Take-Two. That's it, really. Oh, Dead Rising 3, I think, is the darkest Dead Rising game in the series. Like, that game is so brutal. It's like the GTA 4 of Dead Rising when you think about it. What did you do for Mother's Day? Not really much. I hanged out with my mom earlier. I'm gonna have dinner with my mom later today also. Did I know that Venus and Mars should be habitable 3 billion years ago? That I did not know. Where are you driving? I don't know. I'm just waiting for an invite, I guess. Arcade, what are we selling? What are we doing here? Do you think it's actually fault for Johnny's death? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'll play GTA Online with anyone, really. Do you think we're actually getting actual GTA 6 news next week? It's possible. There's only half a year until GTA 6 comes out, and so they're gonna have to start marketing soon. Hey, Pro, yes, this is the flag of Macedonia. Thanks for recognizing. I know my geography well. I literally can't believe that. I want to build a PC that's not even overkill, and you want to know how much it'll cost me? $2,500 before tax. RAM is literally 500. Why don't you just buy a gaming laptop? You know, you don't have to, you know, there are gaming laptops that you can buy these days. They're expensive, sure, but you don't have to, you know, have this huge computer sitting, you know, around, and you can just, and some of them have pretty big screens too. So that's what I would say is, I think personally is I think I'm probably done with desktops. I think I probably am. I think I'm only gonna do gaming laptops from now on, pretty much. What's the fastest way to steal 50 million from the vault in the casino heist? Honestly, the fastest way to steal it would be you would be doing silent and sneaky and Big Con, but with armored trucks. The armored trucks one. So silent and sneaky and Big Con with armored trucks. Those two back and forth, and you'll be able to steal the most amount of money. But you have to be good at stealth to do those. But I will say this also. This might sound like kind of like a an easy answer, but the quickest way to make money in the casino heist all depends on who your teammate is. If you're running it with a teammate that's really good, knows what they're doing, you'll be able to breeze through those heists. But if you're running with an idiot, you know, it's gonna take you forever to make that money. Do you think hantavirus will become another pandemic? No. I read a little bit about it, and I read that it's way harder to get than COVID. It doesn't spread as easily as COVID. COVID spreads a lot easier. Like COVID could spread just by touch, just by being next to somebody. You know, hantavirus, it's a lot harder to breathe in or get inside of you. Happy Mother's Day to all moms. Yep, happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Christine, for the super chat. I'm playing on Fidelity. Am I? Thank you for telling me, Minion Dave. I keep forgetting to turn it. Yeah, you're right. I am. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for telling me. I read some of them, Zach. Did you post another one today? I didn't look at the comments on the new video I posted today, so I'll look at that later if you posted on it today. How much do I know about the Kosovo War in 1999? Not that much. I do know that Kosovo used to be part of Serbia, and then it declared independence. I know the majority of people that live in Kosovo are Albanians, and I know that Serbia does not recognize Kosovo as you know, a legitimate country. They recognize it as like a breakaway province, what they see it as. There's another virus? What? Hey, JBK, how you doing, man? It's believed Nico fought in the Bosnian War. What's your opinion on subscriptions? It depends on what kind of subscription that it is. You know, most subscriptions are not worth keeping. When's the next Yakuza stream? This Wednesday. Red Dead Redemption 2 10th anniversary playthrough in the future. When is that coming up? What day is that, Kevin? Well, what day is that? I know it's something in May, but Hey, native mercenary. You use a lot of streaming services? Not really, no. I don't even have a Netflix account. The only streaming service that I think that I use is Crunchyroll. You know, that's some anime that I sometimes watch, but that's really about it. Hey, Pro, how you doing? I'm doing good, Jolly. How are you? Arcade, get in. I'll give you a quick lift to your place. Okay. I guess you just make the drive there, then. What year was the golden age of GTA Online? That's really difficult to answer. I would say the golden year of GTA Online was probably 2017, because 2017 had introduced like the biker businesses. You had like the MC, you had a bunker, hangar, you had import export, and you didn't have and you had Doomsday Heist too, but you didn't have that stupid Oppressor Mark II. When that came out in 2018, that was really bad. Pro, I'm late. I'm doing DoorDash. It's okay, Nikki. Thank you for the super chat. Good luck on your drive today. I'm at least hoping that nothing bad happens, EM Zuck. Yeah, Max Payne came out, Max Payne 3 came out nearly 14 years ago. It's insane. Kyle Furico was a good heist. It was a good one. Having your computer set up just being a laptop is ridiculous. Not really. Not, you don't need, here's what you need to know about me, Shiny Knight. I'm a very basic person. I'm a very boring person. So I don't need this crazy setup. I really don't. I don't need a fancy desk. I don't need all these glowing lights. I don't need multiple screens. I don't need that stuff. So having a gaming laptop, like a laptop that can edit videos very quickly, and having a good webcam connected to it, it's really all you need. You don't need like this crazy setup. Like a lot of YouTube, I'll be honest with you, a lot of YouTubers, the reason they have those crazy setups, it's to show off. That's pretty much what it is. It's that people see, like, oh, I have this crazy setup here. That's ultimately what it's about. Like, if you've seen my desk is so basic. That's basically what it is. Just so basic, and I have my gaming laptop here. That's what I'm playing on, or I'm streaming through OBS, I should say. So that's essentially what it is. So that's the way I look at things. What's one GTA feature you defended at first but realized it was terrible later? It's a good question. Something I defended but I realized was bad later on. Let me think about that. I have to think about that one. Hi, Pro. In the months leading up to GTA 6, would you play GTA 4 and 5 story? Probably not, Dion. Because I've done playthroughs of them and they're fairly popular. What I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna do another GTA 4 playthrough, but when I do another GTA 4 playthrough, it will basically be in 23 months from now. So it'll be a little bit under 2 years from now. I will do a GTA 4 playthrough on the 20th anniversary, so April 2008. I'll do it on the 20th anniversary. I'll do a GTA 4 playthrough. That'll be perfect for that. But I'm right now not that. But however, though, Dion, is I will do something to celebrate GTA 6 coming out. What I'm going to do to celebrate GTA 6 coming out is we're going to play the Vice City games again. We're going to play Vice City Stories for the 20th anniversary, and we're also going to play Vice City, the HD? I forget what it's called, HD Vice City, the GTA 4 mod, the PC mod with the GTA 4 graphics for Vice City. We'll do a playthrough of that. That will do that leading up to GTA 6. Thank you, Hamza. Explain more about Black Thursday from the Korean War. 12th of April, 1951. Is that the massacre where the Americans had massacred a bunch of Korean civilians that were hiding underneath a bridge? Is that the one that happened? Thank you, Hamzat, for the super chat. Red Dead Redemption 2 released on October 26, 2018. Yeah, and it's approaching 8 years. Let me see here. Hang on. Oh, it's a... No, Black Thursday is something else. Black Thursday is a major setback for the U.S. Air Force during the Korean War when Soviet-flown MiG-15s ambushed American B-29 Super Fortress bombers. Over 30 MiGs attacked, severely damaging or destroying nearly 25% of the attacking force and forcing an immediate halt to daylight bomber raids over North Korea. Yeah. Yeah, that's when they introduced the MiG-15s. That's when the U.S. was in trouble in the Korean War. And here's the thing: is what a lot of people don't know is that when the U.S. Was fighting against MiG-15s in the Korean War, most of the pilots that we fought against were Soviets. So people think we never fought the Soviets in a war. We did in the Korean War. We actually engaged the Soviet Air Force directly. So a lot of those guys were Soviet Air Force pilots, but what they were doing is their jets were painted to be with the North Korean flag, and they were also wearing North Korean uniforms in their pilot suit. And a lot of times what the Soviets did was they had the pilots, they had like Far Eastern Russians that were more Asian looking, they had them as the pilots so that they could pose as Koreans. So basically say, oh, they're North Koreans if they get captured, and deny any involvement. But yes, it was Soviets who actually flew a lot of the MiG-15s in the Korean War. The reason the Soviets did not have the Koreans flying the MiG-15s is because they didn't trust North Korea. Even the Soviet Union didn't trust North Korea. So that's that. What made you do a GTA 4 playthrough in its 13th anniversary of all years? I don't know. I just felt like it. It was the 13th year anniversary coming up, and I was like, I'll do a playthrough of it again. Yes, can I have a ride? Do you need to sell anything, Arcade? Yeah, communist countries hating each other. No way. Yeah. A lot of communist countries hated each other. You know, the thing is, when GTA 6 comes out, we might lose a day in productivity because so many people are going to be taking days off. Can you put it on the map where you want to go, Arcade? What's the best Max Payne game? I know some people might hate me for this, but I think Max Payne 3 is probably my favorite Max Payne game because of the graphics, the gunplay, and also because it wraps up Max's story. Thank you, Jolly. What is the most dangerous country in the world to travel to? I can tell you by continent, if that helps. The most dangerous country in Africa, or probably the world, probably Somalia. Somalia probably one of the most dangerous places you can visit. Most dangerous country in Europe that you can visit is Ukraine. Most dangerous country in Asia that you can visit, probably North Korea. Because even though North Korea allows tourists, it's just the things that have happened to tourists before in North Korea. I guess Afghanistan, you could probably put Afghanistan on there too. Well, North Sentinel Island is not a country, it's just part of India, but yes, you could put North Sentinel Island on there. If anybody goes to North Sentinel Island, they'd be killed. Like, the island is extremely dangerous, it's very violent. So yes, that's that. The most dangerous country in South America, I have to think about that one. Probably Venezuela. Yeah, probably Venezuela. Most dangerous country in North America? Probably... I'd probably put it as Nicaragua. Probably Nicaragua is probably the most dangerous country in North America. Or Haiti. Haiti is also, yeah. Haiti is there too. How can I forget Haiti? Yeah, Haiti probably is more dangerous than Nicaragua. Sandy Shores, please. Okay, let me take you there. Hang on. Sorry, I didn't see that message earlier. Central America counts as North America. I'm sorry, when I said Nicaragua, I'm just I'm just thinking too quickly, but Nicaragua is a pretty dangerous country. Well, Mexico is definitely very dangerous too, but it really depends on the part of Mexico. Like, there's parts of Mexico you can go to that are very safe, but then there's other parts that are very dangerous. How do you rent apartments, and are mobile homes good? I don't rent apartments, I rent houses. As for mobile homes, I don't really know much about them. Mobile homes, I wouldn't get them, because mobile homes are very cheap, and mobile homes don't tend to go up in value a lot like houses do. Like, houses tend to go up in value a lot. So when it comes to mobile homes, the most valuable thing is the land itself, not the home. When a lot of times houses, it's depends on the area. The houses actually could be worth more than the land. Did you know the Soviet pilots were banned from speaking Russian on the radio during the Korean War to avoid World War III with the United States? Yes, that I did know, Hamzat. I have Egyptian, Kurdish, Turkish, Arab, and African roots. Wow, that's a lot of them there. So your ancestors have been all over the place. Sorry to keep asking, when will you start Spider-Man? Sometime in the summer. I'll probably play sometime in the summer. I promise to do it before GTA 6 comes out. Will you play Max Payne online for its anniversary? What, Max Payne 3, you mean? Maybe I could. It's just that Max Payne 3's multiplayer is just so toxic, though. Thank you, Spreezo, for the super chat. Where are we going? The safest countries? The safest country in the West right now would probably be El Salvador, at least in the Americas. In the Americas, El Salvador would probably be the safest country. Kind of crazy, because El Salvador used to be the most dangerous country, but now it's probably the most safest one. What's going on here, Arcade? Did I ever meet a Korean War veteran? No, I don't think so. I've seen old guys with Korean War hats on it, but I never talked to one. No, I've talked to World War II veterans, I've talked to Vietnam veterans, but I've never talked to a Korean War veteran. Oh, that was a mistake, Kenny. It was supposed to be for my channel members, but it was, Chef's gasoline station, okay. Greetings from Liberty City. Can I offer you a Fly US ticket to sit back, relax, and shut up? Fly US is actually a parody off of American Airlines. And I flew American Airlines before. It sucks. You know, one airline that I flew, there was this one airline that I flew recently, and it sucked. It was a new airline, a new one at least in my town. I'm trying to remember, what was it called? Oh, Chef's gas station is right here, hold on. Thoughts on Gordie Howe Bridge not open? Sorry, Pat. What are you talking about, QC Suppressor? Thank you for the super chat. Singapore is one of the safest countries. Hang on 1 second. Allegiant, that's what it is. It was Allegiant Air. So, so I flew, I'm gonna leave the CEO right now unless you still need me for something, Arcade, let me know. So Allegiant Air, about it. I took a flight from Allegiant Air a month ago because I went to go see some friends in Arizona, and the thing about Allegiant is that in my town in the Midwest, we don't have direct flights to Arizona, so we have to have a stopover flight. But we had a flight that was directly towards Nevada, it was towards Las Vegas from there. And there's never been a direct flight before there, and so my buddy picked me up from Las Vegas. But that, that airline, it was like a single flight towards Las Vegas, which I liked because I hate stops. But Allegiant Air, I don't know if anybody's ever flown Allegiant here. Allegiant sucked. And the reason I hated Allegiant is because it was a number of reasons. No Wi-Fi on the plane, no TVs on the plane, the seats weren't that comfortable, and they even charge you for the food. They even charge you for that. Like, they didn't even give you free snacks. Like, whenever I took, like, United or American or Delta, they would always give you free snacks. They didn't give you anything on that flight. So I didn't like that. Will you be happy if Rockstar did a parody of you in GTA 6? I'd be honored, Feline King. I'd be honored if that happened. I'd laugh so much if that happened. Hold on a second here. Let me see. Brandon, I'm gonna help Caliber if it's okay, because you got a few people helping you right now, and I haven't helped Caliber in a long time. It's been a long time since I helped him, so I'm gonna help him out really quick here. I wish the futuristic vehicles were only in single-player mode of GTA 5, if they don't deserve to be in GTA Online, such as the Oppressor Mark II. I agree with you, Hamzat. They shouldn't. It's the futuristic stuff really hurt GTA Online. It really did. Caused a lot of problems. Allegiant sucks, but it's cheap. I guess. Yeah. But you've flown Allegiant before. I did see Spirit Airlines shut down, yeah. I saw it. Do you think we're gonna see some familiar characters in Stranger Than Heaven, like Kazuma? Yeah. Yeah, we're probably gonna see Kuzo, too. You'll see a younger Kuzo, probably. You'll probably see him in Stranger Than Heaven, at least in the 1965 chapter. If you still need help, I can help you with it, Brandon, but I'm helping Caliber first. Was my favorite subject in school geography history? I never had a geography class in history, or geography class in school. That was part of history class, I guess, a little bit. I wish we would have had a geography class in school, but we didn't. But I know geography very well. Very, very well. Like, I know where most of the world's countries are. And not only do I know geography by maps, I also know geography by flags. So flags, if I see flags, I could name them pretty well. Which part of Arizona did you go on your flight? Oh, I flew to Las Vegas, but then we went to Arizona. Thank you, Infinity Daniel, for the super chat. We went right past the border into Arizona. It wasn't far. How many states have I been to? I've been to, let's count it. New York, where I'm from, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Maryland, I've been to District of Columbia, Georgia, Florida, Ohio, Indiana, Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota, is there Nevada, California, Arizona, Any other state I've been to? I'm missing here. My hometown is Tucson, Arizona. Oh, okay, Infinity Daniel. Do you like it there? Have I ever done boxing? No, but I want to learn it one day. Yeah. Michigan, yeah, I've been to Michigan. I forget that too. No, I don't think I've ever been to Tennessee, no. I really, you know what I really wanted to do? This month, I wanted to go on vacation to Alaska. I really did this month. That's one state I always really wanted to see, but the thing is, I can't go because of the stupid airline tickets. Airlines are so much more expensive now because of this stupid war, and I'm not paying more for an airline ticket. I'm not cheap or anything, but I'm not gonna pay that much for an airline ticket. Nebraska, I've been to Nebraska, yes. That's one state I forgot. Do you live in the South? No, I live in the Midwest. No, I've never been to Missouri, Casey. Oh, how could I forget? I've been to the northeastern states. How could I even forget that? So I've been in Vermont, New Hampshire. Uh, I've also been in Delaware. I forgot to mention that one. Uh, I've been in Maine, Massachusetts, Connecticut. Those states I've been to. How could I forget that too? Have I been to Miami, Florida? No, I haven't been that south in Florida. You know, the funny thing is, one of my friends that lives in Florida, one of my friends I grew up with, he moved to Florida when I was younger, and I went to visit him a number of years ago, and he told me that in Florida, the more south you get, the more north you are, and the more north you are, the more south you are, and I didn't know what he meant by that. But then when I went to Florida, I realized what he meant by that. Is that northern Florida is very southern-like very like it's almost like parts of Georgia and South Carolina. That's what it's like. But then southern Florida is very northern-like. It still has like beaches and stuff like that, tropical, but it's more northern-like. Oh, I've been to Illinois too. How could I forget Illinois? Yeah, Illinois as well. Been to Chicago. Him. Delaware is the smallest U.S. state. No, that is actually Rhode Island. What do I think of Dave Ramsey? Um, I've watched a lot of Dave Ramsey's videos. I think that Dave Ramsey sometimes gives really good advice. But there are times that I disagree with him on. Like, one thing that I do agree with Dave Ramsey on is I think that, oh, I missed Infinity Daniel's super chat. I'm sorry. Definitely, it's a nice place. The sunsets here are beautiful. Off topic. I love that the UOFA's men's basketball team has been playing good. That's Arizona's, right? No, I've never been to Texas. Dave Ramsey, he's like a guy who does like a talk show and he gives like advice on like money. So about Dave Ramsey, one thing that I do agree with Dave Ramsey on is I agree with like not buying stuff that you can't afford, because a lot of people do that, like not until you get your finances in order. I agree with him on that everybody should try to pay off their house as quickly as possible and try to pay as much cash as possible. I know not everybody can do that, but it's always the best is that try to pay that mortgage off as quickly as possible. A lot of people like hold off until the last minute, but you pay it off quicker and your interest rate goes down. So I agree with him on that. The what I don't agree with Dave Ramsey on is I don't agree with him on credit cards, because he has said several times that credit cards are evil. He says credit cards are bad, but the way that I see it personally is I don't pay cash in anything. I don't. I pay everything in credit card, almost every single thing, and I pay my credit card off right away. So I never have a balance. I pay it off, and because of that, I'm only paying, what I'm supposed to be paying, the same price, and I'm getting points back. So I'm basically getting rewards for, buying stuff that I was going to buy either way. And, like, Dave Ramsey's like, that's stupid, but I don't agree with him on that. Because I think, a credit card isn't bad if you're going to be paying it off the balance. If you pay off the balance right away, you'll be fine. And, you get rewards for it, too. So that's basically the way I see it on that. The other thing I don't agree with Dave Ramsey on is, when there was one video I watched where he said that, that employees are demanding a raise. There's like this one boss who called him, and this boss said that, my employees are demanding a raise because of inflation. Should I raise the rent, or not raise the rent, raise their wages? And Dave Ramsey basically said you don't have to raise the wages. They're just complaining and a bunch of stuff like that. But at the same time Dave Ramsey would raise the rent on his rental properties, and he would say it's inflation. So he's like, I'm raising rent on people because of inflation, but then he's telling bosses that they shouldn't be raising the wages of their workers because of inflation. So I don't agree with him on that. I don't. I have not, for example, raised the rent on my property. So I own 2 rental properties. I've never raised the rent, ever. The rent has always stayed the same. Even inflation, even all of that, it's always stayed the same. I've never raised it. Cell perfect form. You going to defeat me or destroy this pathetic little Earth planet? Cell perfect form? Wait, what are you talking about, Agent Reaper? Cell perfect form. I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused though, man. Have I been to Colorado? Yes and no. I had a stopover in Colorado, if that counts. Half-Life 3 when it comes out, maybe 2027. I still gotta play Half-Life 2 and the Half-Life 1 DLCs. I found out about you from Dark Viper, GTA GeoGuessr. Yeah, that was fun when we did that. That was really enjoyable. A lot of people found me from that. What's my opinion on Alberta's separation referendum? I don't know. It's not my country. I don't feel I have the right to speak on it. So I'm not a Canadian. I don't know that much about it. So that's that's basically what I'll say about it. So I'm an American. I don't think I really have a right to say anything on that. My dad was in the U.S. Army and fought in Kosovo. He was born to a Catholic family, and Kosovo was where he questioned religion, especially Christians and Muslims in the Crusade area. Well, the Yugoslavian wars, a lot of those wars were not just on they weren't just based on ethnic conflict, they were also based on religious conflict. Like the Bosnians, for example, and the Kosovans are Muslim. The Serbs are, largely Eastern Orthodox. The Croatians are Catholic, and Slovenians, I think, are Catholic also. So there is massive religious tension also. That's one of the reasons for the conflict too. Am I wrong for not trusting bank loans? No, you're not wrong at all. Banks are trying to get as much money as they can out of you. It's actually common sense not to trust banks, so you're fine. Do you know about Reinhard Heydrich, also known as the Man of the Iron Heart? His death had caused the massacre of 2 Czech villages by the Nazis. Yes, Heydrich was a very, very evil man. Very, very evil. The thing about Heydrich is that if Heydrich was not assassinated when he would have definitely been hanged in Nuremberg. Like, he would have been one of the top guys that would have been definitely hanged. So, Heydrich was one of the architects of the Holocaust. So that was him. So Heydrich was one of the people who planned that whole thing out. He was assassinated in 1942 by the Czech resistance that were supported by the British. And both the people that assassinated him both ended up dying later on when they were tracked down and they were surrounded in a church. But Heydrich was a very, very evil man. But Heydrich did suffer a lot before his death because he got hit by a grenade and there was fragments of that. He got a lot of shrapnel and he was in the hospital for like a day and then he died. But yeah, Heydrich was a pretty awful human being. He's a very, very bad person. And the thing about Heydrich is Heydrich was such a scary person that even other top Nazis were scared of him because he was just so cold. He was just so cold in how he described killing people. Like, he was just such a Like, just such a complete psychopath. Like, no empathy, no emotion whatsoever. Like, he was a very frightening person. Thank you, Minion Dave, for the super chat. No, Miami is an easier city to navigate than New York. It's not as crowded. Extreme. What are my hobbies outside of YouTube? Mostly video games, reading history. Um, I like to collect old firearms. I guess that counts as a hobby.
Looks like
Is have I been to the moon before? In Destroy All Humans 2 I was. Um, yeah. Do I have any more hobbies? Not really, not that much. I'm kind of boring. I'm kind of a boring person. What did Faustin mean that America made him greedy in GTA 4? He meant that America corrupted Dimitri. Idric died in a car explosion. It was a grenade. It was a grenade that went off. He got hit by shrapnel and he died in the hospital. How many old guns do you have? Oh. A bunch. I've got the M1 Garand. I've got the Springfield 1903. I've got the Carcano. I've got the Arasaka Type 99. I've got the Mosin Nagant SVT-40, the SKS, the Browning Auto 5, the Springfield Krag, the Car 98, the Mannlicher M95, the SMLE Lee Enfield, the do I have anything else other than that? I'm just thinking right now. Got a lot of the old guns. Sepsis, yeah. Could you make a video of characters you think could be in GTA 6 from GTA 4 or 5 story mode? Also, do you think Rockstar will reference the big score in 5? Yeah, there will definitely be references to GTA 5, definitely in GTA 6, 100%. Yeah, I actually have a huge list of characters that I'm pretty sure would be in GTA 6. Thank you, Dion, for the super chat. What do you think of Albert Goring? Are you talking about Hermann Goring's brother? Can you tell the story about the time you broke your foot during the truck night? I don't think I really broke my foot, but my foot was severely, hurt. So there was this guy that I worked with. If anybody here remembers Mike, the narcissistic guy that I worked with. I'm streaming on TikTok right now. LOL, this game. Oh, I guess some of you guys check out Nikki there too. He's streaming on TikTok, or is it the same name too? Do you think Tony Soprano got shot at the end? It's highly probable he was killed. But anyways, there was this coworker of mine that was a massive narcissist, and I would work truck nights with him, and he was rushing a lot, and he was rushing really badly. And I told him, I'm like, dude, don't rush, don't rush. I remember I kept telling him not to rush. What he did was, we had U-boats, which were basically like these push things, and you would basically put boxes on them. When we were done on the night, we had to send the U-boats downstairs. And so how you would send a U-boat downstairs is you would take the U's off, like the big steel U's, and then you would send those down, and then you would send the U-boat down. What he did was he took that steel bar from the U-boat, like that thing that you pull out, that big thing, and he dropped that on my foot as we were rushing. And I started screaming at him when he dropped that on my foot, and I remember his reaction. He was like, he said sorry at first, but then he started saying, he's like, Patrick, first of all, you need to stop yelling at me. That's like what he said, like when he literally just dropped this huge thing on my foot. But what ended up happening afterwards is I went home early after I had been injured by that guy. I went home maybe it was like an hour and a half early. My boss then came in, and when my boss came in, my boss asked that guy who injured me, was everything okay on truck night? Was everything fine? Did everything work out? And he was like, oh yeah, everything was fine. Nothing bad happened. And so he didn't even tell my boss that he injured me. And when I went home, I literally took my sock off, and my foot was bloody. And I don't even know where the blood was coming from. I didn't even know. I couldn't even figure out where the blood came from. But my sock was bloody, and I ended up washing, my myself in the shower, and then I ended up going to sleep. Now, what ends up happening is when I woke up the next day, it was really weird because I could not feel my entire leg. So even though it was my foot where that stuff fell on, I couldn't feel my whole leg. Like, it was such a weird feeling. Like, I could walk, I could move it, but it was like when I would walk, it's like it wasn't there. Like, I would not feel anything. Like, I would touch my leg, it's like I wouldn't feel nothing at all whatsoever. And that scared me. Like, I didn't know if that was like permanent or something like that. And I ended up and this was I remember it was like Thursday. It was Thursday leading into into Friday, because truck nights were Friday. So this was like my Friday night that I had basically ruined. So I went to I scheduled an X-ray with a doctor because I wanted him to take a look at my foot to make sure that everything was fine. And they told me to come into the X-ray department at 5 p.m. And I came into the X-ray department at 5 p.m. and they told me the X-ray department was closed. And I basically said to them, I was like, why would you schedule me for 5 p.m. if the X-ray department was closed? And they didn't have an answer for me. So basically, they wasted my time. Then I scheduled an appointment with another doctor across town, and he was still open, and I had an X-ray done. The doctor gave me this small little cast to put on my foot, and I wore it for like a couple days, but then I guess I just stopped wearing it at that point. The doctor then got back to me, and he told me that my foot was okay. He told me it was just badly bruised, so it wasn't, nothing was permanent. I didn't even break any bones, thankfully. I was lucky on that. Then I ended up starting to feel it again, so my leg was fine, and I could start feeling my leg and everything like that. But what really pissed me off is that when I was talking to my boss about that, we were talking about the truck night the other night, and I said to my boss, I was like, I got hurt the other day, right? And my boss like, no, what are you talking about? I'm like, Mike didn't tell you he dropped this huge thing on my foot? And he said, no, he didn't tell me anything. And so my boss ended up writing him up after that. And then Mike, had to give me basically an apology for that and apologize to me for, what ended up happening. But that was basically like a bad experience I had. Can I ask, why didn't you sue? I don't know. I guess it's because I didn't have any broken bones. So I guess there's that. Did I get a bone bruise? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just know I didn't break any bones. One of my coworkers almost broke his foot from a pallet jack during truck night. He was pulling it too fast and it rolled. It was, oh my god. Which GTA Online update do you think forever changed the game as we know it? Nightclub update, because it added the stupid Oppressor Mark II. Pat, have you fired any guns in heavier 44 Magnum like the Smith & Wesson Model 29 or maybe the Model 629 stainless version? No. I have fired 357 before. I fired a 357 revolver. And I will be honest, when I fired a 357, I actually thought that it was going to be way worse. It was powerful, but I actually thought it was going to be way worse than what it was. So it actually was not as powerful as I thought it was. I know it's a powerful cartridge, don't get me wrong, but I was expecting way more kick from it. But I never fired 44. 44 I've never fired. So I don't know. I can't speak on 44. Thank you, Jolly, for the super chat. Let me see. What did... I guess we all got the trucks here coming up. I almost broke my skull because of a lone metal bar. Oh my god, I hope you're okay. I stubbed my toe so hard that the nail went deep in my skin. Ugh. That sucks. Is that the same Mike who played House of Ashes with you? No. Professional, how come our heist partners do not write us out? Do you think they're too scared of us to do so because we aren't afraid of anything? What do you mean write us out? What you mean betray us? Maybe, General, yeah. We could, maybe. Wasn't Albert Goring cooperative with the Allies, and wasn't Albert Goring, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Albert Goring like a an anti-Nazi, even though his brother was one of the top Nazis in the country? Correct me if I'm wrong, because I know there was one Nazi leader where his brother, he was like a top Nazi, but his brother was actually an anti-Nazi. Was that Goring's brother, Albert Goring, or was that someone else that I'm thinking of? Because there was one Nazi leader I know that had a brother that was actually ironically an anti-Nazi. Did that coworker of yours ever get fired? No. Have I watched Iraq War Veteran 8888? Yes. I've seen Iraq War Veteran 8888, and I've seen his recent videos. It's really sad what happened to him. He went through a nasty divorce. He lost his house. Like, I feel so bad for that guy. You know, when I watch stuff like that, that makes me not want to ever get married. You know, stuff like that. When I see that, what basically happened to him, like he lost everything in that divorce. His cars, his house. That just sucked. Like, I feel so bad for that guy. Who are my favorite YouTube creators? I like Mark Felton. He's a historian on YouTube. I like Armchair Historian. But I know he's retiring. I like who is it? Yeah, I don't really watch that many channels. Like, I'm friends with a lot of GTA YouTubers, but and they have great channels, but I don't really watch them. I don't really watch any GTA channels, really anything. So whenever it's kind of ironic. Most of my videos are GTA on YouTube, like they're crime games. But I almost never watch any other GTA content creator. I literally just watch like almost all of my, like, if you looked at my feed on YouTube, literally my YouTube videos, like all my recommended videos, they're one of two things. They're either all history videos, or they're either those Reddit horror stories. Like, I listen to those Reddit stories like a lot of times. Like, I'll listen to that when I'm working out and stuff like that, because I want to listen to something funny or interesting, and like people are telling these crazy stories that happened, like the malicious compliance, the pro revenge stories, like the Reddit ones. I'll listen to those. So it's like either that or history. That's really all I watch. Like, it's literally that. Yeah, another time, Jafar. I told that story a bunch of times. Have I heard about John Kiriakou? I always say his name wrong. Yes, I heard about him. He's the former CIA guy. He exposed a lot of the stuff that the CIA was doing. Did you know Bobby Jr. was playing Max Payne 1 in Season 4, Episode 11 of The Sopranos? I did not know that. Do I have any more Truck Night horror stories that you haven't told before? Thinking about something. Anything else I got? I have to think about it. There was one time where Okay, so I was right on that, Sultan, then. Albert Goring was an anti-Nazi, yes. Okay, so, I do remember one, it's not a long story, but basically what happened was we had a really bad snowstorm, and the snowstorm knocked out the power. The power to the entire building was out, cash registers included, so we couldn't scan anything, we couldn't do any transactions, and corporate would not let us go home. Even though the power was out, there was a really bad snowstorm, corporate would not let us go home. They basically told us to face the store, clean the store. That's basically it, so we couldn't even go home that day. Who, Mikey? Yeah, how many businesses do you need to help sell, James? My favorite YouTube creators are AVGN, SMG4, Monster Island, Buddies, Penguin Zero U, Firewood Media, Dank Pods, Real Life Lore, Outside the Box Reviews. Oh, okay. I know in those channels, I've seen Real Life Lore before. I don't know who AVGN or SMG4 are. Monster Island, I don't know. Penguin, I know. That's it. That's the only guys I know from that list. Have I played SOCOM 4? No. I didn't play SOCOM 4 because I didn't like how, action-packed it went. Like, it got away from the whole Special Forces theme of the games. Wait, what, Sultan? Have you heard of the Hill 303 massacre where North Korean army were pretending to be South Korean soldiers captured and murdered 40 American prisoners of war? No, I've never heard about this. Angry video game nerd. I don't think I've seen him before.
You doing this, huh?
I never heard the stalker story before. Okay, I'll tell it really quick. So it's not necessarily like a stalker. It's more like this guy that followed me and confronted me. I guess you could call him a stalker, but it was only a one-time incident. So basically what happened is when I worked in retail, this is more than 10 years ago. So you know more than that. This is probably like 2015 or 14 when this happened. There was this guy that it was like around like 9 p.m., 8 p.m., and this guy like came into the store like 1 or 2 hours before closing, and the guy that came into the store, he wanted to get cash back. So I remember he did like one transaction with me. He bought, I think it was a pack of gum, and he got like $20 cash back, and he left the store. He comes back like 5 or 10 minutes later, and then he says that the laundromat isn't gonna take, larger bills. Can you give me singles? So give me 20 singles. So I gave him 20 singles. Then he comes back like 10 minutes later. He comes back a third time, and the third time that he comes into the store, he's just screaming at me when he walks through the door. And I didn't know what the hell happened. I don't know why the guy was screaming at me, but he told me that after he left the store that he got a prank call, and he was accusing me of prank calling him because at my store there was a rewards card, and you could look up your rewards card through the phone number, and he gave me his phone number, and he was accusing me of calling him and prank calling him, and I'm literally telling him, I'm like, literally, I have too many customers. There are people that are constantly coming in, even at this hour, so I'm busy. I wouldn't even do stuff like that. Why are you accusing me of stuff like this? There's a camera right above my head. You can ask my boss for the security camera footage. You can see I didn't call anyone. I didn't call you. And he just points to me, and he just says to me, you better have not called me. I better not find out you called me. And I ended up telling my supervisor about the whole thing, and I told my coworker about the whole thing. My coworker was laughing about it. He thought that it was just a stupid situation. But then when it was closing, and it was 10 p.m., we were going to our cars, and as we were going to our cars, that guy confronted me in the parking lot. Like, he was waiting until the store closed, and he just started saying to me, I better not find out you prank called me, like, just constantly saying that to me again. And what ended up happening at that point is my supervisor, her husband had arrived, and her husband was this really big Swedish guy. And I remember that he basically got in between me and him. And this guy was not a big guy. Like, the guy that was threatening me was not like a big guy, by the way. He wasn't like a really skinny guy either, but he wasn't a big guy. And so he basically just got in between me and him. He didn't touch the other guy, but he said to me, Patrick, just go home. That's what he said to me, Patrick, just go home. And that was it. And I got into my car and I left. and then that's basically it. That was pretty much the end of the story. So that was it. So I don't know if he was there. If he wasn't there, I don't know what would have happened. But that was pretty much just that situation. It was like a stupid situation. Like the guy was like a complete idiot. You know, I don't know why he was taking this whole thing just so seriously. He was accusing me of calling him. I never called him, and he was like, you know, he even like waited until the store closes to confront me in the parking lot. Like that's really one of the creepiest things that you can do. So that's. Oh, thank you, Jolly, for the super chat. Do you think the 44 was the most powerful pistol revolver caliber at the time, before the 50 AE and 500 Magnum, like in the Dirty Harry movie quote? Yeah, it pretty much is. I mean, 357 I think was the most powerful one, but then when 44 came out, it was the I know the semi-automatic handgun that Harry uses in Dirty Harry, like the automatic 44, like I think that's what it's called, the auto 44. That handgun I know sucked. I know a lot of people found that handgun to be unreliable. But a 44 is one of the strongest cartridges, yes. And 50 AE is in the Desert Eagle. That's the Desert Eagle's bullet. And then there's 500 Magnum, which I don't know that much about 500 Magnum. I know 500 Magnum is like super powerful. Have you ever fired a Desert Eagle? No, I want to though. I want to actually own a Desert Eagle one day. It's like one gun I gotta add to my collection. Like the Desert Eagle is like the most iconic handgun ever that you can you can think of. It's not a handgun I recommend for self-defense, but it's a handgun where if you're like a gun collector, you gotta have the Desert Eagle in your collection. You just gotta. Like it's just an iconic handgun. It's such a ridiculous handgun. It's such a big and powerful one, but it's just something you gotta get just because it's cool. Not necessarily for self-defense, but just because it's cool. Kingdom Come 2 has guns, but they're not particularly useful in combat. I know it's like hand cannons, so like black powder weapons. I know that. My ancestors are actually in that game because my ancestors are the Cumans. So like I'm related to the Cumans, you know, from back then. So I actually find that kind of cool. Whenever I see people play Kingdom Come Deliverance and I see the Cumans, I'm like, hey, those guys were my ancestors. Have I fired an AK-47? Yes, I have. I have fired an AK before. Mark Felton, the History Channel, Sultan. Dog, I'm getting ignored. Dang, I'm getting ignored. No, you're not getting ignored, dude. There's a lot of people that are posting. Certain missions you'll get new weapons, man. You ever fired a musket? No. I actually own a musket. I do have one, like an actual musket, but I never fired it. I have the Kentucky long rifle. No, I've never shot the Barrett 50 BMG. What do you think of Jet from Avatar: The Last Airbender? Idiot. What Jet doesn't understand is that when he does stuff like what he does, that is basically how you create generations of hatred. Is basically like that. Like when he wanted to flood that Fire Nation village, like kill a bunch of civilians just because they're from the Fire Nation, like, you know, doing stuff like that basically causes like generations and generations of hate. It causes like endless conflict. When did I start collecting? I started collecting guns in 2012 when I turned 18. So even like back all the way back then. So yeah, I have like a pretty significant stockpile, like over the years, just collecting stuff. What's the best gun in SOCOM 3? A lot of people would say it's the suppressed M4. Can I help you with your casino heist? Do I have you added, Malachi? Smoothies was, Hey Arnold, what was it? Hey Arnold's code word for booze. Nickelodeon wouldn't obviously allow alcohol or booze to be mentioned on the show. Thank you for the super chat, Mario. Mario, have you ever watched the TV show Recess? In Recess, I know that the word womps is like supposed to be a code word for another curse word, but I don't remember what it is. I think womps might be a word for shit. Excuse, excuse my language. I think that's what womps is. Isn't that what womps is supposed to be? Because that's what Recess I know got away with that, with the kids using that word. Do I think Luis Lopez will be in GTA 6? It's a possibility, a huge one. Spain had just a really big decline. In the last century, Spain had a really big decline. It did. It was like the Spanish Empire, even more than a century ago. Like the Spanish Empire was declining even before America. Even before America took it out. Like literally, Spain was really a pushover in the Spanish American War. Like America defeated them so easily. Like they like Spain was such a joke in the Spanish American War. Have I ever watched Kim Possible before? I've seen clips of it as a kid, but I never fully watched those episodes. Luis Lopez might appear in one of the clubs in GTA 6. That's what might happen. You think we're getting trailer 3 for GTA 6 on May 12th? It's a possibility. We'll have to see. You think Don Eladio in Breaking Bad is a stupid character? Yeah. You know, the thing about Don Eladio is that if Don Eladio never killed Max, Gus would have worked with him and it would have been a pretty friendly and productive relationship, but because he killed Max, it was like, that created like a burning hatred in Gus, and like, Gus was never gonna let that go, and always get revenge on him. I don't know, like, what his problem was, like, what Eladio seemed to me like a narcissist. That's basically what he seemed like to me. Like, he thought he could do all these things that nobody would ever push back against him, or they were too scared to push back against him. That's, I think, what he thought a lot of times, too. But it's like, literally, I don't understand, like, Don Eladio's logic. Like, it's like, you find this guy that, like, makes, like, some of the best meth ever. Like, literally, he's a master supplier, just an absolute genius. And instead of getting, like, a guy like that on your side, getting a guy like that to work for you, like, you kill his lover, and you just completely antagonize him. Like, that was that, like, and then he, like, I don't know, like, what Don Eladio was thinking, that he thought that Gus would just let that go. That's basically what he thought. He thought, oh, Gus would just forget about it. He would just let it go. Like, so I don't know, like, how Don Eladio was, like, a complete moron, so yeah, I would agree with you on that. Like, he just thought that Gus would let that go, but Gus never let that go. What is it? I got the weed glitch and I lost everything. Brandon, are you talking about the glitch where the truck gets destroyed? Like, when you're delivering the weed and the truck gets instantly destroyed? It's like, it's an annoying glitch that happens. If you get that, Brandon, there's nothing you can do. There really isn't. You can contact Rockstar support, and they might be able to give you back your money, but the product is gone. I'm sorry to say that, I'm not trying to sound, like, rude, but there's nothing really you can do. What's after SOCOM 3 Majima Saga? Goatee? Wait, what do you mean? I mean, I don't think I had a goatee. You ever watch nature programs? Not really. I've never been into those. Thank you, Aaron. Do you have any pets if you wear gold chains? I can't have a cat or a dog. I'm allergic to actually both cats and dogs, so I can't have either one. Pat's most iconic catchphrase, here's the thing. That'll tell you. I always say, here's the thing, I explain stuff, yeah. What's at the bottom of the ocean, we don't even know to this day. Okay, who am I helping here? No, but I know both the shows Peaky Blinders and Sons of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy I know is the biker show, and then Peaky Blinders is the British gangsters. I know that like over 100 years ago. Well, yeah, I read your comment earlier, Benny. I talked about how a lot of the Yugoslavian wars were also a religious conflict. Why are you the GOAT, Pro? Well, thank you, man. What's the hardest part in SOCOM 3? Is it Poland? The hardest mission in SOCOM 3 is probably the second to last mission. It's the Polish mission. It's the mission where you have to, like, go and reconnaissance, like, the factory and, like, Christoph Gritz, who's, like, the leader of the NSO. You have to, like, do that and, like, not get spotted in that mission. That mission's very difficult. The mission I just posted recently is also pretty difficult, where you can't get spotted by the pirates. No, I think SOCOM would be good if it just went back to its roots. The thing is, I'll tell you, so many developers out there, there are so many developers that are stupid. Because a lot of developers are always trying to do new things. And a lot of times, here's the thing, you don't even need to try new things a lot of times. All you need to, you have an existing formula that works in a lot of your games. Take that existing formula and just improve on it. That's it. You don't need to add anything new. Just take everything that made your older games great and just improve on it. And people will love it. That's it. That's all. Like, look at what Saints Row 2 did. Saints Row 2 took everything that Saints Row 1 had and improved it vastly. That's why Saints Row 2 was such a success. But then you look at the Saints Row reboot, they tried to do everything new and it failed. It sucked. It was stupid. So if they ever bring SOCOM back, SOCOM should go back to its roots. They had the formula, the Special Forces formula, all the commands and everything like that. That's what you want to do.
Okay.
Do I think the gold value diamonds is justified? Thank you, Dragon Fury. Well, gold is really what you call an inflation-proof currency, really, when you think about it, because it's constantly going up in value, where money is losing value. So I don't know if it's necessarily justified, but I know it's a way to have inflation-proof money. Yes, now I get it, Mario. Whoa. I'm sorry, Casey, that was my bad. How far do you think AI will change society in the coming decades? I think a lot of programmers are going to lose their jobs and be replaced by AI. That's what I think is happening. Like, AI is starting to get very smart. But I don't think it's ever going to get to the point where, like, AI is going to be, like, I don't think it's ever going to get to the point where, like, AI is going to take over our world. I don't think stuff like that is going to happen, no. I think it's just going to be, like, AI is going to replace a lot of people's jobs. That's what I think is going to happen. When did you send it, Rodriguez? It's okay, Zara. You don't have to apologize. Oh, no, that sucked. Okay. I guess I'll take the plane out then. No, there's no more space in the plane. It's a two-seater. I'm sorry. I'll take a look at it a little later, Phoenix. No, yeah, Vanny, I answered your question, though. It was, your dad saw one of the worst religious conflicts going on when that happened. No, Dodo was a little smaller, but yeah, I get it. That... No problem, glad I can help. Where can I read your chat rules, bro? Well, here's the thing is, my chat rules are basically, there really is only two rules when it comes to my chat. That's it. It's very simple. The two rules that are in my chat is no racism and no scams. That's it. And it's that as long as you're not posting anything racist and you're not posting any scams, you know, you're fine. People can even come in the chat and they can talk crap to me, like insult me. I won't ban them. I don't do that stuff. So even when people talk trash to me, I don't ban them. But if I see, like, you know, some swastika or something like that, they're getting thrown out of the chat. They're getting thrown out of the chat. Okay, who else needs help right now? Oh, okay, he's full. Okay. You think the American Army was strong in World War I? Oh yeah, of course. Very. Could a video help me get my money? Maybe. Why don't you clip it, Brandon? But it's, yeah. Well, my perspective on it is I'm very libertarian with it. I believe in free speech a lot. And so, you know, people can come in the chat and they can even talk trash to me. Like, I've had people insult me and I'll kick them out of the chat, but when I see racism, because that bothers other people, I'll kick them out of the chat. Does anyone else need help with anything here? Have any of your ancestors fought in World War I in the Polish-Soviet War? No, as far as I know, no. But I will tell you this. My ancestors on my father's side, they lost everything right after World War I. They lost everything right around that time because they, my father's, my father's side of the family, my family had a business in Belarus. And they had a shoemaking store in Belarus. So they would sell shoes and they would make shoes. They would design shoes for you. So you would come into their store and they would measure your feet and they would design shoes that would fit you. And back then they didn't have factories to mass produce shoes and stuff like that. So that was a very respectable trade and people made a lot of money from that. And I've seen, you know, pictures of what their house looked like back then. It was very nice, and they had a nice business, and they came from a working class background too, and they became fairly wealthy. And what happened was, you had some idiot that came into Russia and was talking about redistributing the wealth, and my family lost everything. They lost their business. When the Bolsheviks came to power, they lost everything. It was gone. Everything was gone. That was it. So that was it. And my family, they hated the monarchy too. They hated the Russian monarchy. They despised it. So they weren't fans of that either. But it was just when the communists came to power, they lost everything. So that was just that just sucked. I'll see you next time, Pro. Happy Mother's Day to you and everyone. Stay safe and have a good week. Thank you, Infinity Daniel. And everyone, happy Mother's Day, too. What business is he at? I don't see him.
Sale day. Okay.
Well, that's how the communist propaganda worked. Is that the communists would accuse anyone of being anti-communist of being a monarchist. That's what they would do a lot of times. They'd be like, "Oh, you're a monarchist or you're an aristocrat." That's what they would oftentimes. My family were not aristocrats, and my family despised the monarchy, and I hate monarchies too. I don't like monarchies. I think that monarchies are, out of date. I've never been a fan of monarchies, but I hate communists even more than monarchies. So like that is so. Basically that. So it's like communists can accuse me of being a monarchist for, not liking communism, but I am not a monarchist. I do not like monarchies at all. I agree with the founding fathers. So I'm not a fan of monarchy at all. Am I being ignored? No, you're not being ignored, dude. There's a lot of people that are posting. No, you're good. You're fine, man. Just post your comment again and I'll try to read it. Do you have Kenny's jacket when you play South Park game? I could think of something to wear. Yeah. Okay, Brandon. Did you ever see the thing I sent you? No, Mario. I'll take a look at it later tonight. I'm sorry. I've been so busy on, a lot of things. I can take a look later, though. Kosovo wasn't the only war Christian nations protected a Muslim nation from a Christian nation. There was the Crimean War where Britain, France, and the Ottoman Empire fought Russia. Yeah, well, yeah, my people, the Tatars, had actually lived in Crimea for some time, but they were thrown off their land in 1944 by Stalin, who gave their land to all the Russians and their homes. Where did you get your profile picture? I designed it a very long time ago. It was some website I designed it off of. Bro, about the piracy in Somalia, why can't the Western militaries go into Somalia and deal with the pirates that way? Because what's the plan exactly? Like, if you go into Somalia, for example, you are gonna have to nation build. You're gonna have to rebuild their infrastructure, because here's the thing: is the U.S. could go into Somalia, right, and we could just obliterate the pirates. But then what? What do you do after that? You just leave the country? Because if you leave the country, what's gonna happen is the pirates are just gonna rebuild in like a couple years. So like the only way to basically stop that is you'd have to fully rebuild the country, and and nobody wants to do that. No Western country wants to rebuild Somalia, so that's why the mask. It's just part of my GTA outfit. There's plenty of times where I don't wear a mask, so there's plenty of videos you can see where my face looks like, but. Somalia is an anarchy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I don't know if we're gonna get another trailer. We'll have to see. If we are. Okay, Redison. Oh, I didn't know that he died, Extreme Swagger. Do you think we should have nukes in GTA 6? Oh, there's probably gonna be a mod for that, though. Thank you, AMRM. Well, a lot of times those are militias, Minion Dave. They're not part of the government. Hey Pat, I'm going on a trip in Europe in July. I wanted to ask, if I was to stop in Poland, what should I do or visit? Um, what could you do and visit in Poland? Uh, there is, I know, what is it, Częstochowa, which is, it's like a very holy religious place in Poland. I don't know if you're a religious person, but if you are, that's, I know, a place a lot of, Christians like to visit. There is in Warsaw. If you go to Warsaw, one of the places that you need to go to in Warsaw is you need to go to the Warsaw Uprising Museum. I don't remember what the name of the building is. I just know it's a museum that covers the Warsaw Uprising and talks about the largest uprising against the Nazis during World War II, which was in Warsaw. It's like an entire, museum dedicated to the people who had fought during that occupation, and shows their weapons, the uniforms, the Resistance War, and stuff like that. Like, you need to check that place out. It also talks about their sacrifices and a lot of people that died in that. Krakow, if you go to Krakow, Krakow has a lot of old castles, medieval castles. So if you like medieval times, there's stuff that you can do there. Częstochowa, or not Częstochowa, Zakopane. Zakopane is a town that is in southern Poland. It's a mountain town. But it's a fun place to go there during winter, especially skiing and snowboarding if you like that. But I guess you could also go there in the summer. It's a mountain town, so there's resorts there and stuff like that. I've never heard of that, Sultan. How brutal was Stefan Bandera and his band of Nazi barbarians? Stefan Bandera was a psycho. Like, Stefan Bandera was evil. Evil, terrible human being. He's this... do you think of AH or Michael Jackson is more famous? When you say AH, are you talking about Hitler? What? I'm just confused by the question, AMRM. Thank you for the super chat. No, I didn't, Extreme. Oh yeah, Auschwitz. Auschwitz. If you go to Poland, you need to go to Auschwitz. Also, it's a museum that's also dedicated towards the It's the largest and deadliest concentration camp that was in Poland. It's a pretty sad place to visit, but I think that every single tourist should go and see it. They should visit it. Just... But about Stefan Bandera is to answer your question there. Who was the person that was asking me that? Hold on. It was Fernando Juarez. Stefan Bandera is a psycho, and I'll say this: Stefan Bandera is a piece of crap. He is. He's an evil man. The thing about Stefan Bandera is that the modern day government of Ukraine, I know they see him as like a hero, and they have statues dedicated to him. Like there's statues to Bandera all over Ukraine. When Bandera was a mass murderer. Like, Bandera was a genocidal maniac. That's what he was. He was a Nazi collaborator. The Nazis then backstabbed him, and then his group had basically fought against both the Nazis and the Soviet UPOs, the Ukrainian insurgent army, and they massacred entire villages of Poles. Like, a lot of Polish people were just mass murdered by Bandera's thugs. So it was, that's something a lot of people don't know about, is that I think a lot of people should read up on that history, but that is, yeah, like I was saying, is Bandera was like an evil person. And the thing is a lot of Polish people, they call Bandera Bandita Bandera. That's basically what they say. What that basically means is criminal Bandera, bandit Bandera. Okay. I have never heard of him, Sultan. Why did the Nazis betray him? Because he was seen as a useful idiot to them. That's basically what, like, the Nazis hated Slavic people. Like, they absolutely, they thought that Slavic people were inferior to them, so they hated Slavs. Like, the Nazis, for example, thought that Slavs were, like, barbarians that were from, like, the Far East. They didn't think that they were Europeans. They thought that they were Asians. And so, the, Bandera was basically seen as, like, a useful idiot. So, like, the Nazis basically used him, when they had invaded Ukraine. They basically used him and his thugs as basically muscle, and a lot of UPA had actually participated in kidnapping Jewish people and helping to capture them for the Nazis. They ratted out a lot of their neighbors. The UPA did that stuff. And what happened was when the Nazis thought they didn't need Bandera anymore, they actually had Bandera arrested. They threw him into a concentration camp, and then his thugs, UPA, basically in 1943 went on a genocidal rampage where they started going into like villages in Poland, and they were just mass murdering everybody in the villages. And these Ukrainian insurgent army guys, these guys were very brutal. Like they were psychotic. Some of these guys, they were so violent and so gruesome that when the Wehrmacht had entered a lot of these villages and they saw like the massacred Polish people, even the Wehrmacht was sick, disgusted by that stuff. So you gotta you gotta be a really sick and evil person for even the German army to be disgusted with you. But that was that's basically him. And the thing about Bandera's thugs, if you want to know how brutal they were, when they went into those villages in Poland, they used axes a lot of times. They killed women and children with axes. They butchered them. And if you want to know how many Polish people died from this, between 100 to 200,000 Polish people died. It's a lot of historians, they don't know the exact amount. And what's actually happened was there was a lot of victims where their remains are still located in western Ukraine, and the Polish government, for example, for a long time has been asking the Ukrainian government to release those bodies, but the Ukrainian government hasn't complied. I know recently they did agree to release some of those bodies and let them come back to Poland to be buried, but for a long time the Ukrainian government didn't do that, and they still have statues dedicated to that guy. That guy that literally led those genocidal campaign, they literally have statues dedicated to him. And the Ukrainian insurgent army, like I said, a lot of them were scumbags because they even terrorized their own people. So, like, they, for example, they went after Ukrainian Catholics and Ukrainian Jews. Like, they persecuted and killed both of them. So, like, they even killed their own people. So, if you did not fully comply with them 100%, they killed their own people as well. So, UPA were a pretty, I would call UPA even a terrorist group. Like, it was literally a bunch of, like, psychos. These guys were not heroes at all. Bandera and his thugs were just as brutal as the Japanese army. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, a lot of people, like I would say, is a lot of people, they do not know this history. They don't know that like Ukraine has this really dark history. Like a lot of people don't know that. So like that, and that's the thing is Uh, that's what I don't agree with the Ukrainian president on. Like when the Ukrainian president he made a statement once where he said that Ukraine has never terrorized or invaded any other country. I don't agree with that at all because UPA, even though Ukraine did not exist as a country back then, it was UPA were Ukrainian insurgent army. These were Ukrainians who did that, and they were basically fighting for like their own Ukrainian government. They were trying to form a Ukrainian state. So like they were Ukraine did not exist on the map, but this was still a Ukrainian group that did this, where it invaded Polish villages and massacred people and committed genocide. So that's what I'll say about that. But a lot of people, unfortunately, they don't know that history. I think a lot of people should read up on that history. Let's see. Do you think it's canon to kill Francis or Derek? I think Francis was a canon choice. I think Derek probably died from a drug overdose. I keep repeating the Kosovo chat after you saw it because I was having dinner and didn't hear your response to it. Oh, okay, Manny. When do you think Trailer 3 is coming out? Might come out this month. You got half a year until GTA 6 comes out. They gotta start marketing soon. One of my friend's children got scammed on YouTube, but these shorts Penguin Zero covered. If these people are deleting their channels and making new ones, what kind of scam is this? Anyone here need help with a heist, by the way? Oh yeah, the Nazi. Here's the thing is, the Nazis never really had any allies in World War II. They never really did. For the Nazis, they basically just had useful idiots. That's basically what they had, which were basically just temporary allies that they had used. So the Nazis did not like anyone. The Nazis hated the Finns, they hated the Italians, they hated the Hungarians, they hated the Bulgarians, they hated the Slovaks, the Italians, like they even hated the Japanese. So literally, is the Germans really did not have really any allies. Like they treated all of their allies so badly. Ananta, when is that game coming out? I think Maiko was a rat for some time though. I think even before the even before the Sanity Bank job. Do Okinawans see themselves as Japanese? Yes and no. So before World War II, a lot of Okinawans did not identify as Japanese. They didn't. But today they do. So I know that today it has a much higher rate of Okinawans identify as Japanese, but the thing is, a lot of Okinawans, they'll identify as both. They'll say, I'm both Japanese and I'm Okinawan. Okinawa is the best way that I can see it, like the best explanation I can give, is it's kind of similar to Sicily. If anyone knows Sicily, it's like Okinawa is basically like, the Sicily in Asia. That's really what you think about it. It was a separate people, just like the Sicilians were a separate people. And they had a separate language, a separate culture from Italy, and a separate culture from Japan. And back then, people identified as Sicilian over Italian. People identified as Okinawan over Japan. But over time, today a lot of people in Sicily identify as both Sicilian and Italian, and the same thing with Okinawa. But here's the thing: is every single Okinawan pretty much knows Japanese, but not every Japanese person knows Okinawan. And it's the same thing with Sicilians: is every Sicilian pretty much knows Italian, but most Italians don't know Sicilian. What should be a song for Trailer 3? I think Billie Jean. Um, why don't they make I Wanna Rock make the song? I think that would be a good one. Do you have any thoughts on Kevin O'Leary and his 40,000 acre data center? I also heard that gas won't go down until 2027. What are your thoughts on this? Oh my god. Is my Alaska trip being delayed until 2027 now? Great. You know, I'm not gonna pay these airline tickets right now as they are. Um, but this is the first time that I'm hearing about anyone need a heist. Anyone who has a heist, invite me. If anyone has a heist, invite me. I will help you with your heist right now. If anyone has a heist, I'm just waiting for the invite. Um, let me see here. I don't know anything about Kevin O'Leary's that data center. That I don't know anything about. But about the gas prices, yeah, the gas prices. This is causing so many problems. This is. Today is my birthday. May I get a shout out? Oh, hello, happy birthday, Cornelia Hill Earth. Hey, everyone, wish Cornelia their happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you, Cornelia. What's my favorite tank in World War II? My favorite tank to use in a video game in World War II games is probably the Panther tank. When I play Hell Let Loose, the Panther tank is probably the most fun tank I've driven in a World War II game. I think I saw those Ukrainian UPA guys in this World War II miniseries, Generation War, which is basically German Band of Brothers. Yes. When you watch in I know the scene that you're talking about in Generation War, when you see like those guys with the Ukrainian armband who are basically just they're basically grouping up a bunch of Ukrainian Jewish civilians. Those guys are UPA. Yes. So I know what you're talking about. This the scene. It's the scene where the SS soldier also executes the Ukrainian girl. I remember. I know the scene you're talking about. So that those guys are UPA in that scene. The so like I said, is that there were some pretty pretty evil guys. There were some pretty bad guys. But I will say is that Ukraine really needs to distance itself from this. Like they need to distance themselves from UPA and they need to distance themselves from this Bandera garbage. But it's like and I'll tell you something. As somebody who has family in Poland, this is one of the reasons that Poland and Ukraine can never fully get along. They never can. A lot of people think that Poland and Ukraine have good relations because of this current war, but it's not entirely true. The main reason that Poland is helping Ukraine is because Poland just hates Russia the most. That's the primary reason. But they weren't necessarily friends with Ukraine. Poland and Ukraine had beef for a very long time. So that is so a lot of people they don't know that. But yeah, but like Poland, I know for example, they made a statue recently that was like a memorial to the victims that UPA had murdered the Polish people, and Ukraine was complaining about it. The Ukrainian government made like a statement where they said like, oh, now is not the time. You don't want to like put this up now. It's like when is the time? It's their own country. It's like Poland has helped you out so much. So like I mean, like I'm not defending Russia or anything here, but it's just like I just cannot stand like the Ukrainian government that it just like has statues of these guys that were like mass murderers during World War II. Like it really, as somebody who likes history, it really pisses me off when I see stuff like that. It really does. Why did Nicholas Ceausescu, I always say his name wrong, due to Romania, that caused the people to turn against him and have him and his wife executed without a chance in court? He was a brutal dictator. He had one of the largest palaces in the world. Like his palace was huge. His wife had like all these expensive pairs of shoes. Like they were just scumbags. They had ran Romania into the ground. He treated himself like a god. He persecuted his people. He used like literally the he used his own secret police to constantly persecute people. His secret police were kind of like the NKVD. I don't know what the Romanian secret police were called, but they were similar to like the Soviet NKVD, how they ran. And I will say one of the most satisfying things ever is if you look up Ceausescu's last speech, his last speech before he was executed, he's giving a speech, and what's happening is the people are booing him. Like literally people are booing him. And he looks at the crowd and he looks so surprised when people are booing him, like it's completely threw him off. Because nobody would have done that years beforehand, because anybody that booed him would be instantly killed. That's how brutal this guy was as a dictator. So imagine this scary, brutal dictator that just terrorized his people for so long, and the people are just so sick of him. They're so sick of him and so sick of his terror that they're not scared of him anymore. And when a dictator loses the fear of his people, like his people don't fear him anymore, that's when his time is up. He's done. and that's pretty much what had happened. And so that's one of the most satisfying things ever. It's like a clip on YouTube you can watch, but it's like the Romanian dictator when he's getting booed, and it's like one of the most satisfying things ever, just seeing a dictator see his own downfall when his people aren't scared of him anymore. Thank you, Alien, for the super chat. Oh, okay, Sultan. Okay, let's make these routes here. Let's get this done. I could try to, Zach. I got a lot of games I gotta get to. Which real-life dictator would be a great antagonist for a Far Cry game? Well, you're not going to have a real-life dictator ever in a Far Cry game, but if you're saying, like, a dictator that's inspired based on a real dictator, I would think... I'm just trying to think, like, any modern dictators that would be, like, good to parody. Well, North Korea, Kim Jong-un. Yeah, probably North Korea, Kim Jong-un. Have I seen Kim Jong-il vs. Hulk Hogan? No, I haven't. How accurate do you think Dark Viper AU's GTA lore videos are? I haven't ever watched them. There is one lore video that I did watch from Viper. I don't remember what it was called. It was like a short video. It wasn't very long, but I did agree with what he said. He was basically talking about how people were saying that Amanda was the woman that gets thrown to the ground at the beginning of GTA, 5, because at the start of GTA, he was saying that that's not Amanda, because at the beginning of GTA 5, right at the start of the game, there's like this woman that Brad throws to the ground, and there's like a lot of clickbaiters that were saying that, oh, that's Amanda. And I remember Viper made like a video where he said that, oh, that's not Amanda, it's just some random, NPC, and he showed the NPC in the game driving around in North Yankton, and so that was, I agree with him 100% on that. So he was he was right in that video that it was just some random NPC that was in GTA 5. It was not Amanda. It wouldn't make sense for Amanda to be in the bank, so that was
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, Germany never really had any allies. What are you talking about, Aaron? What is it here? Most annoying Sopranos character. In my opinion, it's Janice, because she makes my blood boil whenever she's on screen. Janice is an opportunist. Yeah, she is a pretty scummy character. Why would Amanda be at a heist? I don't know, but how's that? But yeah, Viper was right in that video he made when he said that wasn't Amanda. It was so I haven't seen his other lore videos, but that one that I did see was good. Who fixed the damage that Hitler caused to Germany? Well, the Western Allies, really. They had to rebuild Germany after the war, Alien.
All right.
Wait, are we doing a heist? What's going on here?
Oh, you want to scrap, huh?
Yeah, we don't, Minion Dave. You are right. James, are you ready with a heist? What's going on, man? Do you think a Far Cry game set during the Vietnam War where you play as the Viet Cong could be a good concept? No. There was already a Far Cry DLC I know that was in the Vietnam War, but no, I wouldn't want a game where you play as the Viet Cong. Like the Viet Cong were a pretty evil organization. They were the Viet Cong were pretty brutal guys. Like they were basically terrorists. Like the Viet Cong did some really nasty things, and like whenever I say stuff like that, people say that I'm supporting like the U.S. invading Vietnam. No, not necessarily. Just because I call it the Viet Cong doesn't mean that I supported the Vietnam War or anything like that. The Viet Cong were some pretty bad guys. A lot of those guys were pretty ruthless. Like you would not want to be captured by the Viet Cong. Like the way they treated prisoners, what they did to people when they captured them, like those were some pretty bad guys. Like I said. No heist? Okay then, James. I guess we're not doing a heist today then. Okay. The Americans called him Victor Charlie, or VC. That was also a common thing. VC was that. My PC is aging, and I gotta get a new one. And besides the PC, I can get exactly what I want. And that's for a laptop. I was thinking to get a good MacBook since I'm familiar with it later down the road. I don't know about a MacBook. It's just not for I've never been much into Apple computers, but I do want to get a good gaming laptop. Hey, professional mate, I'm curious. What's your thoughts on Watch Dogs 2, especially since Watch Dogs 1 was amazing, and Legion kind of meh in my opinion. Hope you're okay. Watch Dogs 1 was an amazing game. I thought it's one of the best open world games I've ever played. Watch Dogs 2 I've never played. It's a game I gotta play, so I gotta play Watch Dogs 2 this year. I'm gonna play it before GTA 6 comes out. Um, and Legion. The thing about Legion is, here's the thing: is Legion had the potential, and I do mean this when I say this. Legion had the potential to actually be one of the best games ever, but I think they kind of blew it. So this might be kind of unpopular what I'm gonna say here, but one thing that I really did like about Legion is I really liked that you could play as anybody you wanted in the game. Like that all the NPCs had like different abilities and stuff like that, and you could just switch to them. I actually really liked that system. It was unique. It was different. Not a lot of games did it. It was different than like having like a central main character. So I did like that. So I think that was a step in the right direction with the random characters that you could pick. But what I think that made Legion suck, the reason I don't think it was a great game, was it wasn't because of that. It was because the hacking just sucked. It did. Like the hacking, one of the big things about Watch Dogs is the hacking. And in Watch Dogs in Watch Dogs Legion, you didn't really have hacking when you really think about it. Like think about Watch Dogs 1, the game that came out 6 years before that, right? In Watch Dogs 1, you could blow up the pipes in the ground and like cause like a big explosion and like kill people with that. Like you could blow up like generators and cause a blackout. Like the blackouts were some of the coolest things ever. Like you could jump on trains and stop trains. You could do stuff like that. But like what could you do in Watch Dogs Legion? In Watch Dogs Legion, there were no trains. They made the subway system into this stupid like fast travel thing. Like I really wish you could have just ridden the London subway. I wish they had the London subway in the game. I really wish you could have just ridden on the subways. Like that would have been cool. But no, they just had this stupid fast travel system with the subways. And like what could you do? You could just hack drones, hack cameras, and just hack streetlights. That's all you could do. And even when they brought Aiden Pearson as a character, Aiden Pierce was the only thing that really saved that game. So like when they had the Aiden Pierce storyline, like the bad and not the Bad Blood, the other one. I forget the storyline of Aiden Pierce and Watch Dogs Legion. That was actually good. It was actually a good written storyline, and Aiden Pierce did do a great job in that game. But even Aiden's abilities, his hacking abilities weren't even that good. So that's what I'll say about that. Is that game had potential, but I think that they really messed it up. Thank you, Jakes. country, you have to hit the button. Hang on. Bloodline, that's what it was, yeah. Oh, okay. I gotta download NTE when I get a chance. Can you customize your character in that game too, Sultan? Okay, wait. What's wrong with my game here? It's like I don't think my game has any audio here right now. Yeah. To check that out another time when I get the chance. Are you sure it's not the PS5 audio? No, I don't think so. It's just... I'll take a look at it in a moment here. I know you guys can hear me still on mic, right? Yeah, I don't know what happened to the game's audio. I'm just flying the plane, so I can't deal with it right now. Oh, there we go. Okay, that was weird. I just had to do that. Okay. I don't know, Aaron. Now it's doing it again. Now my audio is cutting out. What the hell is going on? Okay, hopefully that fixes it. Okay, I gotta give NTE a chance. Overall income in GTA, it's like over 2 billion. My income is negative because it's that stupid glitch where if you get up to 2 billion, 100 million something, it basically turns negative because Rockstar's integers can't handle it. What's wrong, Jason? I really like that you pointed out that both the North Yankton and Mr. Favor's storyline is based on Fargo. Thank you. Did you watch Fargo, QQ? Do you agree with me that Mr. Favor is based on VM Varga? Also, 2,147,483,647,000 is the maximum value for a 32-bit integer. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Is there any way we could have won the Vietnam War? Yes. But the only way to win the Vietnam War is we had to invade North Vietnam. If the U.S. had now the audio is cutting out again. What the hell? God. Okay, if I do that, I mute it and then I unmute it, it comes back. What the hell is going on? Basically, the only way is to invade North Vietnam. If the U.S. would have invaded North Vietnam, that war could have been over in a year. If the U.S. had invaded North Vietnam in a year, that entire war could have been over. But the reason that the U.S. didn't invade North Vietnam, it was for two reasons. The first reason is the U.S. did not want to be seen as imperialist by invading North Vietnam, and the second reason was they were scared of China. They were scared that China would intervene, but ironically, China wouldn't have intervened because China actually hated North Vietnam. Oh, okay, QQ. Yeah, one day I'll come back to it, Manny, and do it.
Bye.
Is this your last business, dude? How many more businesses you got left? Oh, no, North Vietnam would not have been able to handle an American invasion. Yeah, if the U.S. would have invaded North Vietnam, that war would have been over in a year. Yeah, the thing is that the United States did not invade North Vietnam, and because of that, North Vietnam just kept sending endless troops into South Vietnam, and they kept supporting the Viet Cong and funding the Viet Cong, which that just caused numerous problems constantly. Can we play together later? Do you have me added, dude? And Redison, what's your PSN? Well, yeah, GTA 4 I think is the best GTA game out there, personally. Sean Strickland won. I know, I watched that fight. I watched that fight when it happened. I was pissed. I was pissed. I thought that Hamzat was going to win that fight. Yeah, I was literally assuming that Hamzat was going to win that fight. I thought... I don't know what was going on with Hamzat during that fight. Like, when the way I saw Sean Strickland just talking so much crap before the fight, I literally thought that Hamzat was going to knock him out. I did. Oh, I do an emulator on SOCOM 3. Okay. Is Hamzat Chimaev Russian? No, he's Chechen. Do you like my SOCOM playthrough, Snipes Gaming? No, I don't smoke. How about it was the 80s Miami drug war trade? Ah, pretty bad. But, Florida was cleaned up a lot. Florida is not as bad as it used to be. It used to be way worse with the drug trade.
That's a successful sale.
How much longer are you streaming for? I'll help him until his businesses here are done. I think he's got, what, 1 or 2 more businesses left. How many businesses you got left, dude? You have the best content. Thank you, thank you there, Phoenix. Okay, Redison, one more. Okay, this then. Well, this is a weird place for a bunker. I haven't seen this location in a long time. Have you guys? Yeah. Yeah, no, I was hoping that Hamzat was gonna knock him out. Like, I really thought that Hamzat was gonna knock out Strickland. I really did. What is going on with my audio today? I don't know, like... It's acting just so weird today. Got any unique ideas for 007 cosplay? Ah, I'll probably just be wearing the jacket that he's wearing in the thing. I wonder how long that game is. I wonder how long that game is gonna be. I'm sorry about the audio, guys. I'm gonna fix it for next stream. I don't know what's going on. It's weird today. My mic is working, but the game audio is bugging out. You doing any heist tonight? Nah, not tonight. Out of the way. Police are getting knocked out here. Oh, what the? I got a car on... I literally got a car on top. Oh, crap. Out of the way. Oh, my God. What the hell? I'm stuck. Get that unstuck quickly, because it can blow up. If a vehicle is stuck for too long, it can blow up. Just, go, deliver. Don't wait for me. Just go and deliver. My God, this is a war zone. Out of the way. Bros on Miriam Pataki Drive then. I won't show the video under my photos. Okay, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon and Mario. Ooh, okay. What the? What is this? Oh. Oh, okay, well the police are cool with us now. Okay, what's other super chat, Brandon? You send the video... I saved the video on my phone, but I can't submit the video to Rockstar support tickets. Any idea why? Rockstar support ticket does not allow videos to be sent. You could send them, you can upload it as like a YouTube, like, unlisted video and then just send them the link. That you could do that. Make that moment as short I could. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna probably wrap up the stream here. Nobody got a heist today. I'm hungry. I haven't had dinner yet. So I'm gonna have something to eat. I'll still stick around and answer a few questions before I go. So if you guys want to ask me anything, let me know. Make it to a short. I could, April. I could do that. Yeah. What the? That was a crazy jump. Would you play for Wolfenstein? Yeah, I could. You gotta eat, bro. I know. I gotta start eating before my streams. What happened to OG Loke after GTA San Andreas? He probably left town. Thank you, Tyler Sharp, for the super chat. Thanks, man. My next GTA 4 stream, I'll probably do it on my birthday. My birthday's coming up. It's in 3 weeks. So we'll do it then. I love sushi. I haven't had sushi in some time. I gotta have sushi again.
That is degrading. For sure.
I just survived World War VIII. That's a reference to Ryder. Any GTA protagonist a good person? Not really, no. Vic Vance is the closest thing to being a good person. Hey Patrick, back in GTA San Andreas, if Johnny Gat participated in the casino heist, he would have had other plans by shooting up the casino. Yeah, he would have just gone through shooting everything. Thank you, Isaiah. The DR said you have 14 broken bones, which means I still have 192 good ones. The DR? Wait, that's gotta be a reference to something. Do you think you'd be good at making compelling gaming content with AI game writing? I don't like the idea of combining those two. I think that the thing I think AI is very helpful in is like when you're trying to find a specific link, like you're trying to find like a video, and like you describe it to AI, it's like you ask AI like, can you find me the video of this happening on YouTube or something like that, like a video that you know what happened but you don't know the name of it, or like you ask the AI to like find you like a link to like an article or something that you're looking for. You just describe it and the AI will find it really quickly. It's useful for removing things from pictures. So like when you're editing pictures and you have to remove something that's really annoying, it's useful for that. But like, I don't like the idea of using AI in like videos to like you know, video editing, or and I don't like the idea of it using like voice and stuff like that. I don't like that idea. I find it a bit creepy. What the? Who the hell are you? Okay, that's self-defense. Was Lance Vance a good person? No. The doctor said you have 14 broken bones, which means you still have 192 good ones. What is that from, Blinded Eagle? What's for dinner? I'm probably have chicken cutlets and some french fries. Any villains would be like in the next Mafia game? The main villain in every Mafia game is always your Don. That's who it always is. What, Afghanistan? I don't know, that'd be an interesting setting, Zach. Google is the name of the... That's not how it works, but hey, that's how AI... Well, AI can help you find something pretty quickly. But I guess I'll be going here, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you guys for watching the stream. If you guys enjoyed it, do drop a like, and I will see you guys on the next one. We will do a Yakuza Kiwami stream on Wednesday. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful day.